Hi there, I'm Sarah Croce. I'm the founder of the Humane Marketing Revolution. I lead a community called the Humane Marketing Circle, and I also work with clients one-on-one, coaching them, helping them create their life's work and let the world know about it. I'm so excited to be part of this community project about pivots. You could say that I went through a major pivot. It took place over several years. I've been in business for 15 years now. Started out with, well, back in the days, I started out as a virtual assistant in 2006. Then eventually transitioned into LinkedIn consulting and helping entrepreneurs and also organizations and even people in transition with using LinkedIn as one of the early LinkedIn coaches, consultants. Now there's thousands of them. So I had that business for 12 years, and I just kind of grew tired of it. I thought, well, is this what I'm going to be doing until, the end of my days, end of my working days? And at the same time, what started to happen is that I really got burned out with the way we were taught to market our businesses. This pushy, manipulative kind of hype and bro marketing really got to me. It's kind of also in those times that I found out that I was a highly sensitive person. And so all of this just really started to not work for me anymore. And I remember sitting on a therapist chair and just crying and saying, I'm just not meant for business. I think I have to give up. Or, and that's when the seed was planted, I'll have to come up with a different way to market, a way that is aligned with our values. And recently somebody told me, yeah, this word aligned and kind of has become a buzzword, and it's true. It's similar to authenticity, right? So what does that really mean? Well, what it meant for me is going on a deep inner journey and coming full circle with who I really am. On my LinkedIn profile, my title said hippie turned conscious business coach. And so going back to my upbringing, and I grew up in a hippie commune, and really embracing this community upbringing, embracing those values that I grew up with, and yet have hidden away in the online space for so long. That's what that inner journey meant for me. And I realized, well, if we do come to marketing from a place of wholeness and really feeling like this is who I am and these are my values, this is my worldview, but also this is this is who I am, and also these are my skills, and these are the marketing techniques that I want to do, then that's really humane marketing. So the pivot really was going from a LinkedIn consulting business doing marketing like everybody else was telling you to do, and that was obviously very niched or niched, to saying, well, I need to zoom out again. I need to redefine my niche. And what I realized is like, well, my niche is not about a specific service or a specific person, even. My niche is about my worldview. And so the worldview became this different way of doing business for good, purpose-driven business, really also because I reconnected with who I really was, how I grew up, the values that are, intrinsically part of me are those values of change, of creating change, creating a revolution, a gentle revolution. And so bringing all of that into my current business, and that is, calling for a change, calling for doing marketing differently. That's what that pivot looked like for me. During that pivot, as sometimes happens in our entrepreneurial journey, I had some roadblocks with a trademark issue. So first I called it gentle marketing. published the first book under that gentle marketing term, and then got blocked because of a trademark issue, and somebody had just deposited that trademark, and so I had to find a new term. So this kind of like dark night of the soul. Oh no, I'm being blocked, and this was the term that I thought was unique. And then realizing, but wait a minute, nothing changes. It's just a word. I can find a different word that still means the same thing. So just looking down at the questions that Caroline wanted me to answer. Yeah, so the pivot, how would I do things differently if I had another chance? Maybe it was a bit of a forced pivot for me, because of almost like a burnout. Um, but I wouldn't do anything differently, actually. I really loved the way I shared everything publicly, especially then with the trademark thing where I had to go from gentle marketing to humane marketing. I, included the community and shared why I now had to find a new term, and kind of like my thought process in finding this new term. So no, I wouldn't change anything. It's part of the journey, and I'm just so glad I did make that pivot, and really, yeah, thriving now and loving my business again. Where before it was just kind of like, going through the motions, having a business to pay the bills, which is kind of like why I entered into business, but then realize, well, this is not what I'm meant to do here on this world. So the pivot was definitely a success for me. Again, it had its roadblocks, but it was a success for me. I'm so glad I did it. So in terms of, what kind of advice would I give? I think it really is the time now that my new favorite line is, people do business with people who stand for something. And I really feel that very deeply, that is the time that we are in. And so if maybe you are also in a business like I was, going just through the motions, just, yes, being in service, but kind of like, is this really what I'm meant to do here? If you're in that same situation, then maybe asking yourself these, deep questions, and thinking, is this truly who I am? Is this the business I'm meant to be running? Or is there something else for me? Is there a bigger why to my business? And then slowly transition into that new version of your business. It doesn't have to be overnight. It wasn't overnight for me, for sure. But yeah, looking back, I'm just so glad I did it. So I hope this story is giving you some ideas, is inspiring you, and I'd love to continue the conversation in the community project. Thanks so much for watching.